Stoicism. Who among us hasn't felt overwhelmed by the unpredictable storms of life? We've all faced moments where our emotions seem uncontrollable, like a ship being tossed about in chaotic waters. But what if I told you that the ancient Stoics held a secret, a way to steady the ship amidst those wild waves, granting you the ability to navigate life's storms with calmness and composure? This isn't just about surviving life's challenges. It's about thriving in the face of adversity. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of Stoic wisdom, uncovering timeless insights that can not only reshape how you think, but also transform how you live each day. Stay with me, because you're about to learn how to harness your thoughts and actions to create the life you've always desired, no matter the obstacles in your path. If you resonate with the transformative power of Stoic ideas, consider this a simple call to action. Hit that subscribe button and commit to not missing a single moment of this journey. If you're seeking Stoic wisdom, then you're already different from most people. You're an exception, ready to challenge the ordinary and reshape your life in extraordinary ways. 1. Recognize what is within your control. At first glance, this may seem straightforward, but truly understanding it on a deeper level is a game changer. The Stoics didn't just talk about knowing the difference between what you can and cannot control. They emphasized where to focus your mental energy. Every day, we're bombarded by news, opinions, and events that trigger all sorts of emotional reactions. Yet the Stoics advised us to direct our attention solely to what we can control: our actions, our responses, our choices. For instance, you can't control the weather, but you can control how you prepare for it. You can't control what others think of you, but you can control how you respond to their opinions. So why waste energy stressing over things beyond your influence? Imagine trying to steer a ship by blowing on the sails instead of using the rudder. It won't get you anywhere. Instead, focus on your own actions and decisions. That's where your true power lies. By becoming proactive rather than reactive, you not only solve problems more effectively, but also cultivate a calmer, more serene mind. This shift isn't just about staying composed. It's about empowering yourself to live a fuller, more intentional life. When you accept that true control resides within you, you begin building a life defined not by external chaos, but by the inner peace you create. 2. Your perception shapes your reality. This is another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy that can completely transform how you experience life. The Stoics believed that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, it's our opinions about them. In other words, your emotional responses aren't triggered by the events themselves, but by how you interpret them. A situation is neutral until you assign it meaning. For example, being stuck in traffic might feel like a frustrating waste of time, or it could be an opportunity to listen to your favorite podcast or music. The situation hasn't changed, but your experience shifts entirely based on your interpretation. This realization is incredibly liberating because it puts you in charge of how you experience life. You have the power to reframe your thoughts, which in turn reshapes your emotional landscape. By consciously choosing to see obstacles as challenges to overcome rather than unfair burdens, you move from frustration to growth. It's like switching lenses. Every color changes how you view the world. This shift in perspective doesn't just help you cope with life. It helps you thrive, turning every obstacle into a stepping stone toward greater resilience and inner peace. 3. Voluntary discomfort. This might sound counterintuitive at first. Why would anyone choose discomfort? But this is one of the most powerful Stoic practices. Voluntary discomfort isn't about pushing yourself to extremes simply to suffer. It's about training your resilience and independence from external circumstances. By occasionally placing yourself in uncomfortable situations, whether it's taking cold showers, skipping meals, or sleeping on the floor, you're preparing yourself for the inevitable hardships life will throw your way. Think of it this way. If you're accustomed to discomfort in small doses, when life presents a real challenge, a job loss, a sudden change, or even something as minor as a broken air conditioner in the middle of summer, you'll be better equipped to handle it. You're essentially stress testing your mind and body, building the strength to endure larger trials with grace and fortitude. Through voluntary discomfort, you reclaim your autonomy and prove to yourself that you don't need perfect conditions to thrive. You become unshakable, capable of facing whatever comes your way with courage and clarity. By conditioning your mind and body to embrace discomfort willingly, you train yourself to remain calm and resourceful when real storms arise. This Stoic practice builds resilience, anchoring you firmly even as life grows unpredictable. These three principles, understanding what is within your control, recognizing the power of your perceptions, and embracing voluntary discomfort, are only the beginning of a Stoic journey. They don't just equip you with tools to face life's challenges. They empower you to transform those challenges into opportunities for growth. When you apply this timeless wisdom, you begin shaping your life from the inside out, creating an unshakable foundation of resilience, peace, and strength that no external circumstance can undermine. So, if these ideas resonate with you, pause for a moment to reflect. How much of your life are you allowing external forces to dictate? How can you start reclaiming your inner sovereignty today? Remember, Stoicism isn't about escaping life's difficulties, but mastering how you respond to them. Let the storms come, but stand steadfast at the helm. When life presents discomfort, our instinct often drives us to panic, avoid, or become overwhelmed. But what if instead we paused and chose to embrace the discomfort, or even sought it out? By doing so, we recalibrate our baseline for comfort, shifting gradually from avoidance to acceptance, transforming discomfort into a powerful tool for growth. What once seemed insurmountable becomes manageable. It's not merely about physical endurance, but mental preparation to face adversity without letting it disturb your peace. Voluntarily confronting discomfort is a form of self-mastery, training your mind to respond with calm rather than chaos. Whether it's fasting, pushing past physical limits, or navigating difficult conversations, you strengthen your ability to remain steady in tough moments. You're not just telling yourself you can endure discomfort, you're proving you can thrive in it. Over time, your mental resilience grows, equipping you to handle situations that once would have spiraled you into stress. In our modern world, comfort is always within reach, often just a tap or swipe away. Yet by choosing discomfort, we practice self-discipline, distinguishing between what we truly need and what we merely desire. It reminds us that happiness doesn't lie in indulgence or convenience. In fact, discomfort teaches a profound lesson in simplicity, helping us live with less while appreciating more. When we step outside our cozy bubbles, we return with a deeper gratitude for the simple comforts we take for granted: a warm meal, a soft bed, a quiet moment. Voluntary discomfort doesn't just fortify you against future hardships. It sharpens your ability to value what you already have. So next time you feel the urge to avoid discomfort, ask yourself, what could I learn by leaning into it? It's not about seeking pain, but becoming unstoppable in the face of life's inevitable trials. Let's now turn to another crucial principle for navigating life: understanding that everyone acts based on their own perspective. This simple yet profound idea fosters patience and empathy. Every person you encounter operates through the lens of their beliefs, experiences, and biases. That driver who cuts you off in traffic or the colleague who snaps at you in a meeting might seem like a personal attack, but it's far more likely a reflection of their circumstances: an emergency at home, a stressful day, or internal struggles you know nothing about. Instead of reacting with frustration or anger, the Stoic approach teaches us to pause and consider the other person's perspective. What's driving their actions? By understanding that their behavior stems from their personal world, one you may not fully grasp, you can respond with empathy rather than irritation. This isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's about deepening your emotional intelligence and learning to see people as they truly are, not as they appear in moments of stress or frustration. Applying this principle changes everything. You stop taking things personally. Instead of reacting defensively, you preserve your inner peace and seek to understand the root of the situation. This shift in mindset can completely transform your daily interactions. Imagine how much calmer and more productive your days could be if you stopped wasting energy on resentment or frustration. Instead of focusing on judgment, you could choose to respond with the best version of yourself, building bridges of understanding rather than walls of division. This approach not only enriches your relationships, but also broadens your perspective on the human experience. It's about recognizing that we all view the world through different lenses. When you stop judging and embrace empathy, you cultivate a life filled with greater compassion and connection. Let's reflect instead of reacting impulsively. This principle is about creating space between a stimulus and your response. When something happens, especially something that triggers you, your instinct might be to react immediately. Perhaps it's a sarcastic comment or a sharp disagreement. But reacting without reflection only escalates the situation, leading to regret and misunderstandings. Stoicism teaches us to step back, breathe, and reflect. While we feel triggered, is it truly about the other person's words, or does it stem from a deeper insecurity or past pain? By reflecting on our emotions, we create a pause before responding impulsively. This pause allows us to respond with intention, choosing a reply that aligns with our values rather than being driven by fleeting emotions. This mental discipline can transform your life. It frees you from the tyranny of knee-jerk reactions and helps you build emotional intelligence. Over time, it strengthens your character and enhances your ability to navigate challenging conversations and relationships. When you reflect instead of react, you don't just avoid conflict. You foster an inner peace that enables you to face life with calmness and clarity. So, the next time you feel the urge to react, take a moment. Use that pause to reflect and respond from a place of wisdom and understanding. In doing so, you'll transform how you interact with the world, leading to more peaceful, intentional, and meaningful exchanges. Pause for a moment, just a second, and ask yourself, what's really happening here for me and for the other person involved? In this brief moment of reflection lies the path to true understanding and wisdom. It's not always easy, but the rewards are profound. When you learn to pause and reflect in this way, you gain the ability to navigate life with grace and composure, no matter the circumstances. One of the most powerful Stoic principles is the idea that self-reliance is the ultimate form of freedom. In a world where much of our happiness is tied to external factors, money, status, relationships, Stoicism teaches us to find true independence within ourselves. Real freedom doesn't come from what we possess, but from what we can let go of. According to Stoic philosophy, self-sufficiency isn't about withdrawing from society or living off the grid. It's about cultivating inner resilience and independence. It's about finding peace and fulfillment not through possessions, but through our capacity to find joy in what we have internally: wisdom, virtue, and self-control. This is the essence of true independence, the freedom to live fully without needing anything external to dictate your happiness. Imagine how liberating it would feel if your happiness didn't depend on material possessions, others' approval, or perfect health at all times. What if you didn't need the latest gadget, the fanciest car, or constant validation from others to feel content? Self-sufficiency teaches us that we can rely on ourselves for our own happiness. By focusing on developing our internal qualities, our resilience, wisdom, and control over our emotions, we build a solid foundation for well-being that no external circumstance can easily shake. This concept goes beyond individual happiness. By cultivating self-sufficiency, you simplify your life. You begin shedding unnecessary dependencies that clutter not just your physical space, but also your mind. You start asking yourself, what do I truly need to be happy? More often than not, you'll find that the answer is far simpler than you imagined. This journey towards simplicity isn't confined to material possessions. It's also about achieving emotional independence. When you no longer rely on others to fulfill your needs or bring you happiness, your relationships deepen and become more genuine. You're able to give freely without strings attached, because you operate from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. By embracing self-reliance, you don't isolate yourself. Instead, you empower yourself. You tap into your inner reservoir of strength, allowing you to move through life with greater peace and clarity. The more you trust in your internal resources, the freer you become to love unconditionally, give generously, and experience life fully. Another profoundly transformative Stoic principle is amor fati, or the love of fate. This mindset urges us not merely to accept life as it unfolds, but to embrace every moment, whether perceived as good or bad, with enthusiasm and gratitude. It's not about passively enduring suffering or resigning ourselves to hardship. Instead, it's about recognizing that every experience, no matter how challenging, contributes to our growth and evolution. Consider this. Every obstacle, setback, and encounter hold a lesson. By practicing amor fati, we stop resisting the natural flow of life. Rather than wasting energy wishing things were different, we immerse ourselves fully in the present moment, trusting that everything unfolds as it should. This doesn't mean we seek out difficulties. It means we face them knowing they are integral to our journey. When we align with fate, we cease fighting life's challenges and release regret or bitterness over outcomes we couldn't control. Instead, we view each experience as an opportunity for growth, understanding that nothing, not even the hardest moments, is wasted. The struggles we endure, the people we meet, and the setbacks we overcome all shape the person we are becoming. Imagine navigating life with this perspective. Instead of being tossed by unpredictable waves of circumstance, you glide forward with calm assurance. Every twist and turn becomes part of your evolution. You begin to approach life's highs and lows with acceptance, knowing that each challenge is essential to your personal development. Amor fati diminishes regret because we come to see that everything happens for a reason, even if that reason isn't immediately clear. Rather than longing to rewrite the past, we focus on what we can learn from it and how we can grow through every experience. By accepting, and even loving, the events that unfold in our lives, we cultivate a profound sense of peace and joy. This mindset is incredibly liberating because it eradicates the fear of failure and misfortune. You trust that even the toughest moments serve a higher purpose, one designed for your ultimate growth and well-being. With this outlook, you no longer feel weighed down by past mistakes or paralyzed by future fears. Instead, you move forward with unwavering confidence, knowing that every experience, every triumph, and every trial is a stepping stone toward wisdom, peace, and fulfillment. By embracing these Stoic principles of self-sufficiency and acceptance of fate, you unlock not just resilience, but also a deep sense of freedom and inner tranquility. Life shifts from being defined by external circumstances to being shaped by how you respond to them. By aligning yourself with the flow of existence, you transform each moment into an opportunity for growth, empowerment, and personal victory.